Today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can boost productivity without burnout, okay? And I say this importantly without burnout because a lot of times when people come to me and they say, I want to be more productive, I want to get more done, they're struggling to do so because they're in a state where they are lacking discipline and lacking motivation. And sometimes it's not just because of like you don't have the will, like you're not motivated, you don't want it bad enough. It's not always that. A lot of times it's because you've already hit a state of burnout and you're living in that state of burnout, and it's hard to be creative and find inspiration and stay motivated in that state of mind. And so today I want to give you some tips on how you can boost your productivity before or without hitting burnout. And if you feel like you're already in that burnout stage, then I'm going to link you to another video that you need to go to, because you need to take some time to recover from burnout before you come back and say, I want to be productive. You do a time audit and all that other good stuff. Okay. So number 1 is setting clear boundaries. If you want to be productive, if you want to get more done, it does not matter what your schedule looks like if you don't actually hold the boundaries of doing what you've set in your schedule. So for example, if you say, I'm going to create content from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and somebody calls you at 8 a.m. and you have a 30-minute conversation and you don't say anything about the fact that you had a schedule between 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to create content, then that person is first of all, it's not that person's fault, but you didn't hold the boundary that you set for yourself. Okay. And so you have to be very straightforward, and you could do it in a nice way, but totally someone calls you at 8 o'clock and you say, hey, I would totally love to, I want to have this conversation. I want to listen to what it is that you have to say, but I'm on a schedule. So can I call you back later? I'm in the middle of something. Can I call you back later? I'm busy. Can I call you back later? Just because you're doing something for yourself doesn't mean that you're not busy. Like, we are quick to say, if we're out doing something for someone else and someone tries to interrupt us, we're quick to say I'm busy. But when we're doing something for ourselves, we're not as quick to say I'm busy. So get used to telling people that you're in the middle of something or that you're about to do something that's important, and they can call you back at the designated time on your schedule or some other time, right? So just make sure you hold those boundaries. Also, on this same note, the way that you hold boundaries with others is also the way that you should hold boundaries with yourself. Okay. If you know you schedule yourself to do something from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., don't take extra long to do your makeup and your hair and be listening to music and doing all this other stuff when you know at 8 a.m. you're supposed to be sitting down working on something specific. Okay. So respect the boundaries you have set for yourself with other people and with you. That's number 1. The second way to boost your productivity without burning out is to make sure that you are eating and sleeping the right way. Okay. Now, I know y'all have heard this a million times. Like, you need to get sleep. You need to get sleep. Okay. There are different apps that tell you how much sleep that you need to get. I don't really know if I necessarily believe in those, but I say anywhere between, for most people, anywhere between 6 to 8 hours is the sweet spot. Some people work really good on 6 hours of sleep, like, you know, your body. And some people work really good with 8 hours of sleep. And if they have anything less than 8 hours, it's like craziness. Okay. So you do have to know yourself. What I would recommend is taking a week and putting down what time you went to sleep and what time you woke up. And then at the end of that week, looking at how you felt each day and how many hours you slept. There's probably a tracker for it somewhere. I might find one, and put it down in the description box. But you need to not guesstimate like, oh, I'm going to sleep 6 hours tonight and we'll see how I feel. Like, no, you just need to do your regular schedule. Write down what time you went to bed, what time you woke up, your actual schedule. Don't be trying to like, oh, I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I know I have to track it. Like, don't do that. Just do your regular schedule. Look at how you feel and determine from that how many hours of sleep your body needs to operate at the best capacity. Also take into account with or without caffeine. Okay. With or without, some of y'all be like, I'm good on 6 hours of sleep, but then you have like 200 milligrams of caffeine in the morning, which is like 3 cups of coffee. Okay. So take that into account as well, with or without caffeine. If you're cool with drinking caffeine, keep drinking caffeine, measure your hours of sleep, see how you feel throughout the workday. If you do not want to drink caffeine anymore, or if you're someone who does not drink caffeine, do the same exact process. Just don't change anything about your regular day, because you don't want to make adjustments to your schedule to increase productivity, or adjustments to your sleep to increase productivity based off of a lifestyle it's not truly your lifestyle. Okay. But definitely prioritizing sleep. Sleep is super important. There are certain things that I do not do, around bedtime, and I've got a bedtime routine just like I have a morning routine. Okay. So for example, I don't eat within 3 hours of going to sleep, because if you do eat within 3 hours of going to sleep, that interferes with your body's ability to generate melatonin, which is what helps you get sleepy. Okay. Also, it just it drives my stomach crazy. Like if I eat and then I like within 30 minutes, like literally of sleep, because I've done this before, and I wake up in the morning, I feel like someone has scooped out my insides with an ice cream scooper. Like it's horrible. Okay. So know your body. I also don't watch anything new at night. Like I'm not starting a new show at night. I'm not watching a new episode of nothing at night. And I don't know where you guys are based at, but in America, that's when new stuff comes on TV. It comes on TV at night. And for me, I'm like, I can't do this, because it takes so much longer for my brain to settle down, because not only am I watching the new show, my brain is now thinking, well, what's happening next week that I can't even control and can't even access. So that's also a reason why I love watching the streaming services, and I just wait till the whole season comes out. But prioritize your sleep. On that same note, nutrition, super important. A lot of the stuff that we're eating is slowing us down. Like right here, like I don't even have to move nowhere. This is right here on my desk, because every single morning I'm drinking a green blends. I'm scooping this out into a mason jar, because I'm Southern. Okay. We drink out of mason jars. I'm scooping it in a mason jar. I'm mixing it up. I'm eating it right here. Also right here, actually, by the way, protein shake. And this is a clear protein shake. So this is actually fruit flavored. It's not milk based, because I don't do milk. But I am going to try almond milk protein shake. But yeah, I'm literally at my desk, like I'm drinking water or green blends or protein shake. I'm not drinking juice. I'm not drinking a whole bunch of crap. I'm not putting a whole bunch of sugar into my body, because I know that it literally clouds the brain. Okay. Your memory gets affected. Your thought process gets affected. And if I want to become the 7-figure version of myself, right? Because I'm already the 6-figure version of myself. I'm already the multi-6-figure version of myself. I want to be the 7-figure version of myself. And she has a clear thought process. And so I have to start adopting habits that are going to get me to become that girl. Okay. If you want to be that girl, be that girl. So just make sure that you're looking at your nutrition, you're looking at your sleep as well. Okay. Number 3, use smart tools. Now, I don't have any like specific, this is my favorite app and other than the fitness app is where I track like my calories, my steps and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that I'm moving and I'm not sedentary throughout the day. But other than that, I use a timer. Like that's it. All throughout the day. Hey Siri, set me a timer for 10 minutes. Oh, she wants me to unlock my watch. But I do it with I thought my phone was going to do it. I do it with my phone. I do it with my watch. Oh, my iPad just did it. I'm like, what's happening? My iPad is back here. I've got my iPad, my phone, and my watch. Apple, they got all my money. But I use timers. Like if I say that I'm going to go do something and I'm like, this is going to be real quick. You know how when you tell yourself, I'm going to do this real quick. Let me go do this real quick. Let me go do that. I'm going to do this. Even in things that are in my schedule, I'm going to do this 30-minute call. That's easy to keep track of because I can see the timer on Zoom. But like any of these other little tasks, I'm going to cook lunch. I'm going to run to the store right quick. I'm going to write up this sales page. I'm going to, audit this social media page, whatever I have to do for work, right? Because you guys know I work from home. I'm a coach, so I do a lot of stuff. I set a timer. There is nothing in my day that I do intentionally that is not timed. You know what that does? It makes me hyper aware of what I am doing working towards my goals and what I'm not doing working towards my goals. And then I can look back and see, like, where was my time spent? I can actually show you. I haven't started tracking today yet. But look, I can actually see oh my gosh, I've got all these gaps in my schedule. What was I doing? Something that wasn't intentional. Because if it was intentional, I would have opened up my time tracker and started the timer. Okay. And so this allows me to see, okay, even though I started working at 7:30 in the morning and I didn't finish until 3:30, which is a long day for me, because I'm super productive, so I don't have to work as long. But if even though I feel like, oh my gosh, I work from 7:30 to 2:30, I feel like I worked that long because I know when I started working because I looked at the timer, and we all do. And I know when I stopped working and I looked at the timer because we all do. What was I actually doing during the day, right? I feel like it was 8 hours, but look at all these gaps. It really wasn't 8 hours. And the timer will tell you how many hours you worked. So I know how many hours I worked. It's really good. It helps me realign my mental energy with my physical energy, because even though I feel like, right, my physical energy, I feel like I worked 8 hours. Mentally, I can look at it and say, I only did 5 hours worth of work. Let me do a few more things, a few more tasks. Even if it doesn't equal up to, even if it doesn't take me from 5 hours to 8 hours, I know that it's there. I can make it up later. Okay. So if you're going to dedicate a certain amount of time, whether that means I'm going to dedicate a certain amount of time to my business, I'm going to dedicate a certain amount of time to my kids, a certain amount of time to my personal, development, just me by myself, not my kids, not my partner, not my work, but me, like Bible study, working out, walking, yoga, whatever it is that you do, right? I don't do yoga, but whatever it is that you do, time it. Time it. At first, it's going to feel restrictive. You're going to be like, why am I timing every single thing? Like, it's not, I should give myself grace. But like, no, you're going to give yourself grace, because you're going to see how much stuff you're putting into your schedule that doesn't need to be there. And then those in between breaks that I showed you all, that's my grace period. That's my downtime where I'm thinking about the thing I just did, or thinking about the thing I'm about to do, or I'm just taking a mental break. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is to make sure that you celebrate small wins. This is huge. Okay. Celebrating small wins. I know we have these big, grand, amazing goals, and we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. But you need to have small milestones somewhere in there, and you need to have a designated celebration. Now, what I will tell you as a recovering emotional eater, do not make your celebratory item a piece of food, because I used to do that. Like, oh, I completed my work for the day, I'm going to go get some cheesecake. Oh, I did a workout, I'm going to order some wings. Like, I did that a lot. Okay. So I would recommend not that. I would also go easy on the shopping, because I used to do shopping too. It was like, oh, I did a week full of workouts. I burned 1,000 calories every single day. I'm going to go get me 3 new outfits. Okay. So you have to find something that can help you celebrate the small wins. And my things were all physical, because I'm a physical, like, it's weird because my love language is not gifts. Like, my love language is words of affirmation, but I'm a trophies girl. Like, I want a trophy. I want something physical that is a representation of the things that I've accomplished. And so you can find figure out whatever that is for you, but just make sure that you're rewarding yourself along the way, because that plays a really big part in intrinsic motivation. Okay. There are 2 different types of motivation. I'm not going to get deep into them in this video, but there are 2 different types of motivation. There's intrinsic motivation and there's extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is motivation that comes from outside factors. People telling you did a good job, people giving you a pat on the back, someone calling you and congratulating you, someone getting you a gift because you accomplished something, like, I graduated, you brought me a gift, yay, like, whatever. Okay, you spent time with me to celebrate this, yay, whatever. That's extrinsic motivation. Things are happening outside of your control that are motivating you. Kids, like, my kids motivate me. They don't do it on purpose. They're just existing. But that's extrinsic motivation. Then we have intrinsic motivation. Those are things that are inside of us that are motivating us. And by the way, these can be positive or negative things, right? Because there are things that happen negatively in our environment that motivate us to do better. Okay. So motivation is not just about positivity, but intrinsic are things that come from inside of me. So like me, I feel good when I get to buy myself a new workout outfit. It makes me want to go to the gym. That is intrinsic motivation. I have control over that. It comes from within inside of me. I have an inner voice. My inner voice says, get up, girl. You need to look your dang on best if you really want to show up the way that you want to show up. That's intrinsic motivation. Okay. You can control it. It's important for you to understand what motivates you intrinsically so that you can leverage that to stay motivated at all times. Of course, there are going to be some times when you're not motivated, but you can literally motivate yourself. Like, you don't need other people to motivate you. Now, what I will say is that coaching is still very much so needed, because what happens when you work with a coach is they help you identify, me at least anyways, I can help you identify what your intrinsic and extrinsic motivation factors are so that you can keep yourself in a state where you are consistently and constantly feeling motivated, uplifted, and identifying what, not necessarily what your goals are, because you already know what your goals are. You know what you want. Like, you could say, I don't know what I want, but you know what you want. And even if you don't know what you want, you know what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? And so with a lot of my clients, what I'm doing is I'm looking at, what is it that you want? Is that what you really want versus what other people want for you, right? Are these self-imposed expectations? If they are, cool. Then we're looking at intentionally what actions can get you there. What are we leaving? And what are we adding that is going to make this time productive and the schedule productive and intentional? And then leveraging those intrinsic motivational factors so that you can actually get things done and become who you want to be. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me any questions that you have below and I will respond. See y'all later.